Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of From the District with State Senator Suzanne Weber. We are finally doing one of these.
I know it. I know there have been so many things that have gotten in the way um,
It has.
in
It
the
has.
last month and a half because things have been pretty tense, pretty out there. Um, you know
Well,
what? I just have to say that sometimes I see people walk by my house and I don't know where they're going,
yeah,
but
that's
I
understandable.
don't know what their mother would think if she were to see them.
Well,
My bad.
no, that's okay. Um, Forgive me, my voice is not top notch. I am fighting off a little bit of a cold, so I apologize. But it is, as we record this, it is the 22nd of uh, May,
May,
which
right.
just a few days ago, on the 19th of May, was the primary election.
Yes, it was.
Lots of stuff kind of became clear. There were some surprises. There were some not so surprises. Um, but
Yes, and it's interesting to see how people are interpreting some of those surprises or some of those results. You know, you can say I got 98% of the vote, but there were only two of you running and you were the incumbent.
right,
Um, and come on.
right. I remember when you first ran for the House, you got 80% of the vote, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, and you were not the incumbent, and there was somebody else running, and she had run before. So um, I think that boded well for you. But let's go through just a couple of these things that happened on
Yes,
election.
let's do that.
Let's start with your position.
Yeah.
Uh, the Republicans and the Democrats both had multi-person primary. I think there were three on each side, I believe.
Yes.
So let's start. The Democrats nominated your predecessor.
Yes.
Rachel
Rachel Armitage. Yes.
Right.
Um,
Um,
And of course, she was the clear winner, as she espouses to be a former senator,
with,
and so
technically, she is.
she is.
Was never elected, but she
She was
was.
appointed in Senator Johnson's position, while Senator Johnson ran for governor. Yes.
So I didn't see much of a campaign there at all. It didn't look
No.
like the other two um, were really there. I think she might have sent a mailer, maybe.
I didn't get any kind of a mailer from her, but then I didn't expect to really. But I did run into her at the North Plains Library when they had their 20th year celebration. And I know that she has been paying special attention to what's been happening up in with the different issues in Astoria. But I haven't really seen her out in the district much at all.
Right. She probably correctly assumed that she had that one locked up.
Yeah,
The Republican primary, however, was a little bit more punchy,
it sure was.
but didn't have as all that much of a different outcome. There was, but you had Clatsop County Commissioner Courtney Bangs,
Yes.
whom you have endorsed. You had a businessman fairly
Trip Dietrich, yes.
to the district in terms of residency, Trip Dietrich, and then you had Dr. Frank Mansfield.
Yes.
Who, I don't know how long he'd been in the district, but
I think he's been in the district for quite a while.
Yeah.
And he's had political aspirations for a long while. But he didn't have the money or the following
yeah,
to go forward.
I think he had some family medical issues as well that took him off
Yes.
the campaign trail. Hope those are all sorted out for him. Never a good time for that to happen, but certainly when you're trying to run a campaign,
Right.
not a good time. But the clear winner was Commissioner Bangs.
Yes.
So we were very happy about that.
Very happy about that.
How do you feel about this going forward? It's going to be, I think, Commissioner Bangs, just because of the makeup of the district, is the favorite. to take over. But how
Well,
do you
she's
feel?
very well known.
Right.
And I really appreciated the fact that all through the primary race, she was everywhere.
Yes.
She met with so many people. I did have some calls from some people that said, could you get a hold of her and tell her to talk about this? Or could you get a hold of her and talk, could she bring this point forward? And, she was very open to all of that when I suggested things to her. And, that's what you need to be, because you need to be a person who is going to listen to your constituents.
Right.
And you're going to need to be a person who does the research and knows your area. And I appreciated that.
Yeah, I will certainly say she has been one to listen to her community for a long time.
Yes.
Been in office as a commissioner since, I believe, 2021, 1 in 2020. So better part of 6 years, 5 or 6 years. And
she started running for the county commissioner at the same time that I started running for the House. And
right.
That's where we became acquainted with each other over Timber Unity.
Right.
And
but she's been involved in her community for
yes,
years and years and years. So she didn't just start getting involved.
No.
She wanted to run for office. So that's, I think, one of the reasons she did so well, is that not only did people know her from her time as a commissioner, but people knew her from before that, because she's been in the district for so very, very long, just like yourself. Excellent. Then let's talk a little bit, just briefly, about the Republican primary for the House.
Yes.
Representative Javity is now a Democrat, so he
Yes.
was unchallenged for his primary, which surprised me a little bit. I thought there might be. I mean, he's got a record, right? He's got a voting record that, at least the first term in the House, a left-leaning Democrat would have a heyday with.
Yes.
So I was a little surprised by that. But you had three, I think, really good candidates on the Republican side. It was an embarrassment of riches, and I knew a lot of people had to struggle with who to vote for, because you couldn't really go wrong. So tell us a little bit about
it all depended upon where you were in the district also, as
right.
to who had the preponderance of support.
Right.
But we had, we had Max Sherman on the south end of the district, and we had Christian Honnold and Adam Dean on the north end.
Right.
And I think we had three really great candidates. I know Max. I know the work that he has put into it. I know the length that he has gone to, especially in the short session, to make sure that he was present in the Capitol and aware of everything that was going on.
Right.
Christian Honnold, I had several really good conversations with him. Invited him to my home to talk about politics and going forward. He's a very smart man. And I wish him all the best. I think that he does have the opportunity to really make a difference in his community. And then Adam Dean. Adam Dean is a policeman, and he owns a trailer park up north in the north end of the district. Had him come to my home also, and had several conversations with him. I was also impressed with him and his dedication to seeing this forward. He came into the race a little bit late, but I think he did very well, when it came to the polls.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like I say, we had three really great candidates for that position.
Right. And I think Max did end up winning. So
yes.
I think Max had the edge there, in that he'd run for the legislature before. Not this seat. When he ran before, he was in District 10, which is Gomberg's seat.
Yes.
So he ran against Gomberg. And when he came really close.
Yes, he did very well.
Without even really having much money.
Right.
Much support. So the fact that I think this time he will have a lot more support, a lot more money, because there's I think a pretty strong desire to take out Cyrus Javity. There's a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of frustration, and since it's been won several times now by Republicans, I think our side sees an opportunity to
Yes.
bring her back into the
I do
fold.
too. And people, even after the election, are coming forward with all sorts of positive messages concerning Max.
Right.
And the impact that he not only has on the students that he had with his teaching career, but what he has done for the community as far as, giving back. You know, how he raises all these vegetables and all of this food that he also then, contributes back into the community. So it's not like he's just worried about the politics. He's worried about the people. And he has made sure that this has been a part of his life even before politics were.
I don't know Adam Dean, and I've never met him, but I do know Christian Honglund. I do know Max Sherman, and I can tell you, neither one of those guys have designs on rising up the ladder in politics, right? I think both of them are retired. Both of them have worked their careers, and both of them just want to give back to their communities, which
right.
And obviously Adam Dean is a police officer. You don't generally get into that job unless you want to give back to your community. So it was a great race.
It was. And you know what I really appreciated was the fact that all three of these gentlemen made themselves available to communities. When we opened up the community college, the health science building, they were there. From the Columbia Memorial Hospital gala, they were there.
Right.
They were talking with people. They were meeting people. If it was the FFA banquet in Astoria, they were there. And I really appreciate the fact that, yes, they're good people, but they really care about the people that they're going to be serving. And I think that there's longevity there. I think that, they're not just going to go away. They haven't been here for just 1 year and they don't know anybody in town.
Yeah.
They're
I
here.
think under three guys who, no matter what happens, they have a future in politics if
Yes.
they want it. And yeah, I remember working, when we were trying to get you to run, there was nobody else that we thought that could win. Of course, we wanted you because we thought you were a great candidate, but there was also nobody else. There was no backup plan.
Yeah.
So to have not only three candidates, but three good candidates, boy, there have been times where that just is not the case.
Yeah.
So,
and I have to pause for 1 second because I have to say that we may have a Martin moment here because Martin is coming home from running on the treadmill.
Well, we don't have many of those left, right? We
Right.
only have 7
And he's
months.
being quiet.
Wow.
Wow. I should send you some of his videos of him running on the treadmill,
I was, when you first told me about that, I thought you were joking until I realized you actually put him on a treadmill.
He runs like the wind, let me tell you, and he'll go for 45, 50 minutes.
I bet he's tired when he gets back.
Yes, he is. I appreciate every nap he takes.
I should do that with my dog, who is
yes.
a year and a half old. And fortunately, we have a fenced backyard, so that's where he spends a lot of the time during the nice weather.
Yes.
He wants to be there. Okay. The other big thing that happened, there was, of course, a lot of local elections. Your district is very big. We don't need to get in all of those. But let's talk about the big one that, two big ones that happened. First of all, the governor's race.
Right.
It shook out, quite frankly, exactly how I thought it would.
Actually, it did for me too. That's exactly how I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
There were a couple points during the time when I had questions in my mind, but then as things, kept unfolding, that's how I saw it.
Yeah. I think, Chris Dudley has a lot of good there, but I think a lot of people a lot of people, a lot of voters don't remember who the guy is.
Right. He
And
appeared on the scene, and he wasn't really, a lot of people knew him, but he appeared on the scene, but he didn't get in touch with rural Oregon.
yeah,
And that's what I saw as the issue. I didn't see him out there. Rural Oregon depends more on less on the rebound and more on economic development and understanding the issues that we have.
Was that rebound? Was that a basketball joke?
Well, he was, on rebounding, and and he was worried about girls' sports and things like that, and those are all legitimate concerns. But what were the farmers doing, and
Right.
what were the people that are growing the strawberries that are now being harvested?
Right. Ed Deal came in about where I thought he would. I think was a lot of goodwill for him because of the gas tax.
Yes.
I just think he didn't run a strong statewide campaign, and he had the difficulty that he was running against another person from like the Willamette Valley, who from a very strong Republican part of the Willamette Valley, and Christine Drazen, and so that was going to split. So where else was he going to get the votes? So not a surprise.
I was surprised, however, at the money behind Dudley.
Oh, well, it was mostly all Phil Knight money.
Yes, it came from big business, and well, that's well and good, but let's hope that the money is going to be there to continue to work on these elections into the future, into November.
Right. I think the one thing I was surprised at is how strongly Christine did. I figured she'd win with like the mid-30s, and she got she pushed 50%.
Yes.
Even with such a crowded field. So that was good news.
And you know what made me extremely pleased on the morning after?
Why?
When the Oregonian ran her picture, a big picture of Christine, and it was a good one. How they always, if they have someone that's not their favorite, you get the picture with their mouth open or their, eyes closed or something like that. No, this was portrait quality Christine Drazen. I was for a Democrat paper, I thought that was amazing.
And again, you had this was different than 4 years ago when you had a bunch of candidates, but most of them were insane. Most of them were unelectable.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like Christine was the best choice then. She probably, if she wasn't the best choice, she's never been one of the best choices this time around. But you also had a deal. You had Chris Dudley. You had Danielle Bethel.
And Danielle is up and coming.
She is.
Yes.
And you had, again, good, experienced, electable candidates.
Yes.
This is good news.
Yeah, there was common sense, related to all of them. As going forward, I was pleased.
Yeah, and even looking at the U.S. Senate race, usually that is people you've never heard of, or if you have heard of them, you've heard of them for bad reasons. This time you had David Brock Smith.
Yes.
Do I think he's going to win? Probably not. But what I do think he will do is lose by less.
Oh, yes. And you know what? And there is an opportunity for him to win, actually.
Sure.
Because there's the same sort of emotional detachment that people have with Tina right now to our legislators in Washington.
Right. I will say, though, even if he doesn't win, we didn't end up with two Democrats as senators of Georgia overnight.
Right.
They ran better and better candidates, and they lost by less, until finally they actually won. And that can be the playbook for Oregon, but you can't nominate these tinfoil hat wearers. I mean, no offense to them. I'm sure they are very well meaning.
Yes.
I do not cast aspersions on their intentions. It's just like they're not good candidates. But with David, you've got a sitting state senator,
Yes,
who is battle tested and who is midterm. So if he loses, he'll just go back to the Senate. So
right.
good news there, I think.
Yes, and you know what? I really appreciated the fact that he made an effort to be in our district, in
Yes.
my district. He was another one of those people who came to the opening of TBCC's health center. He was up in Astoria. He was in various places up and down the North Coast that really made me pleased that he would give us that attention.
Yeah, so he was everywhere, which
Yes.
was great. And then, of course, the big one, surprising absolutely no one, the transportation referendum went down in utter flames, which is
what is it? 4-1?
It was
No votes to everyone?
83 to 17.
Yeah, something like that.
But everybody knew that was going to happen. Neither side ran a campaign.
Right.
I mean, everybody knew it was going to lose. But that does bring up the question. That's gone.
Right.
Our roads still suck.
Yes. There's still no money for any kind of projects, especially 26, 30, or 6
So
going forward.
What now?
Well, the governor has announced that she has a group that is working on transportation, and they are putting together a package that will come into the long session. But please remember, she said this last time too. She was working on this, primo transportation package that was just going to win everybody over. And it was very obvious it won no one over.
Right.
And it didn't take into account the obvious things, like maybe you ought to look at your budget a little bit closer, and maybe you can realign some things in your budget. And there's $1 billion that you say you had. Well, you really didn't have it, so you changed your bookkeeping system. Come on, guys.
Right. Well,
and here it is, 2026, and we have still not budged off of all of the projects from the 2017 legislation.
Yeah. And I think if the things that I hope she has learned, and it just blows my mind, because the Speaker of the House, she was just absolutely ruthless about this stuff. She worked her will in amazing ways.
Yes, she did.
She was effective. And
yes.
She has just been so remarkably ineffective at this as governor that it is just absolutely shocking. You don't drop a massive package on the assembly in May. That's a bad idea. That's how things don't happen, right?
But why do you think that changing the date of the election is going to change the results?
Right. Well, because they knew that they thought, and honestly, we were all wrong. We thought maybe that this would affect some races, and I don't think it did.
I don't think it affected any races.
So, but I could see, we all thought it probably would, but it didn't. So we all learned something. The other thing I hope she learned is you've got to give a little. And I think what she needs to give is you've got to cut some things. You've got to get rid of some positions. You got to get rid of some middle management. You got to get rid of how many PR department people do that.
You've got to look at your project costs that you put into effect in an emergency order. You've got to look at that.
Yeah. Here's a tough one. Maybe you got to think of prevailing wage laws on some of these
projects. Maybe you do. Yes.
I'm not saying that you have to do it permanently, but maybe until you can fix the backlog, you eliminate some of the prevailing wage requirements. Like, you've got to give. You cannot just say, okay, we need this much money, go raise it. And it becomes all carrot, no stick.
Right. And I will tell you that every tourist that goes from the valley to the coast on Highway 26, when they get to milepost 13.9, they are going to realize They spent all that time and all that money trying to fix that, and it's right back where it was. You still can't go more than 5 miles an hour. If they come on Highway 6 to the coast in the summertime, day trippers or whatever, between milepost 31 and 35, you better not be going very fast because you're going to lose the bottom of your car. That's it.
Yeah.
My parade car, I can't even take over that road.
Well, it is the 22nd. The 25th is Memorial Day. So
Yes.
we're going to start seeing a whole lot of people coming.
Yes.
And they're going to be reminded why we need to fix these roads. I just hope they remember next time. But so we'll see what happens. Obviously, you won't be there, but
no, but I just want to remind people that I am there until the end of the year.
yeah.
People say, "Oh, what are you doing now that you're not in Salem?" Well, I hate to tell you this, but I'm going to Salem just about every week. May
Right.
not be necessarily to go to the Capitol, but I was up there about a week and a half ago and scared 2 maintenance people half to death when they found out I was in my office. So,
Well, you're not only the end of the year, but I believe until like January 7th.
January, yeah, something like that. Yes.
When your successor takes office, that's when you're not
Right.
governor anymore. But until then, you are still a state senator.
Right. And I'm looking forward. We've got Ledge Days coming up in June now, and we're getting the agendas right now, especially for issues regarding transportation and education. And there are a lot of issues that are going to be coming forward with education, because people who are running for some of these offices already they just woke up. Oh, we've got problems with education in the state. Oh my goodness sakes, we've got problems with absenteeism. I've been working on that task force for 2 years on absenteeism and how we could move forward. And the bills that we got introduced. We've got to start looking seriously about issues regarding graduation requirements, credits. How is this all going to play? Days that we're in school, we've got probably the shortest school year in the country. And you've heard me say that on this podcast before.
Yeah.
Our kids aren't going to school as many days as other people are. So there's a lot of issues around education that people are suddenly using as fodder for campaigns that, we've known about.
Well, I hope
we as Republicans have been working on these things for a long time.
Well, I think one of the things that you guys have been saying over and over and over again, and I hope average Oregonians will start really catching on, is this is not a money problem. You guys have dumped money over and over and over. You've given everybody every penny that they want, and there's still cuts.
And the cap tax, look at that.
That was going to change education funding, revolutionize.
Right.
And
what did it revolutionize? Nothing. It just put a glint in somebody's eye so that they could see, oh, there's money over there, and I bet I could get it for my pet project.
Right. You also have to realize they're just your kids now. In some of these, this is going to sting, but unless some of these larger metro areas start having more kids,
right?
Because it's a per capita, per head, funding model. So if you're not going to have as many kids, you're not going to get as much money.
Right.
So number one, you're having fewer kids, so that's going to be a problem. That's a societal problem. And number two, the kids you do have, a lot of them just aren't going to public school anymore.
Exactly.
Because the experience is so toxic, and you're teaching them everything but learning. Now, there's a great, most of the teachers are great,
but it has also opened up opportunities for some fraudulent practices in some of the schools.
Yes.
Online schools.
Yes.
And so it's just like another opportunity for people to be able to milk the government and not provide what our kids need. And did you see, this is a real flash also, is that the lawsuit that Jewel School District filed is going forward.
Right. Tell people about that, because I bet there's people who maybe aren't in or around Jewel who don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we have money going from timber sales to schools. And
Right.
in my district, it's 4 schools: Nestucca, Neocani, Seaside, and Jewel. And the majority of Jewel's funding comes from timber sales.
With 90%, right? I mean, it's
Oh,
huge
yes.
out of the budget.
Oh, yeah. It's they're going to lose quite a bit as a result of the Habitat Conservation Plan that has been pushed forward, which we don't even know if it is going to be a viable document going forward, because it still hasn't been completely acted on, vetted. But what it's doing is taking money away from these schools, and Jewel decided to sue over it.
Right.
And of course, it lost its first case in court, but it appealed. And so they have won the appeal to go forward. Now, when that's going to go forward, I'm not sure how that's all going to work. But kudos to Jewel for bucking the system, making sure that we can use the money from our state forests to fund our counties, our county governments, and our schools especially. Because if that timber money is not going to the schools, then it's going to come out of the pot of the rest of the school money, which is then going to decrease the amount of money that other schools are going to be getting.
Right. And when you have massive millions upon millions of dollars of budget cuts being proposed, and so 2 things that I hope people will take away from this. Number 1, this is not Trump's fault. Please.
No.
This is not a federal problem.
This.
You will hear that from people on the trail, that the reason that our schools are having to cut money is because of Donald Trump. No. That is not. This was a problem during the Biden administration, if everybody remembers. This is not a new problem.
Right.
So don't fall for that. Number 2, also ask the question. Don't buy that they're not getting the amount of money that they need. Ask the question. Like, we've been getting the amount of money that you asked for every single year.
Every single year. Yes.
Every single year. And every single year after you've asked for it, you come back, you get it, and they say it was not enough. So really, what's the problem? And you have to start pushing political candidates to answer the question beyond the it's Trump's fault and schools need more money.
Right. Yeah. And when you look at the elections going forward, Trump didn't have anything to do with what was out there on your ballot.
Right.
To speak of. He wasn't going to be able to affect any of that.
Trump didn't have anything to do with Jewel losing timber dollars.
Right.
Right. I mean, these are choices being made by state and local officials.
Yes.
That's what it is. It is not federal. It is very easy, especially in a state that is center left, to blame the big boogeyman when it's Donald Trump. That isn't the problem. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you dislike him. He has nothing to do with this.
Right.
Your education issue in Oregon is an Oregon problem.
It is.
You can't keep saying we just need more money.
And you know what I wonder? I wonder, for years, we always said, oh, Alabama, Mississippi, look at their school. I mean, we always kind of looked down our nose at those southern states.
Yeah.
That's not an option any longer. Because don't you wonder if the people on the East Coast are saying, oh, have you seen Oregon? 47th.
Yeah.
48. Yes.
All right, Senator.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up. Anything else you want to touch on before we close it up?
Well, this is Memorial Day weekend. Yeah. And I really want to acknowledge all of our veterans and their service to our country, and acknowledge, the gifts that they have given us, and to remember to thank a veteran especially this weekend. And we should be looking out for them every day.
Absolutely. And be thankful for the ones who gave it all.
Yes.
That's what this one's about. So get out to those Memorial Day events. Certainly
Yes.
enjoy the barbecue, but remember what that barbecue,
Yeah. And
why you have that day off to barbecue. So
fly your flag.
fly
It's
the flag.
important.
Absolutely. All right, Senator, always a pleasure to be
Thank
with
you.
you. We're going to try to get back on track.
Right.
Another one out for June when you're going to be out starting parade season.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
One more left. One more parade season left in you.
One more. Yes.
We may just bring out the car and have former Senator Suzanne Weber just because we love the parade so darn much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Senator.
very much.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll catch you next month.